I saw your tweet, Ambassador McFaul, saying you have a suit on for the first time, and then I stumbled as I read where you are. But first, your reaction to the press conference and everything you've seen.
So far, so good. I think it's the right way to move into this main event of the week. First, the G7 statement, now the NATO communique. I confess I haven't read it all yet, Nicole, 45 pages, but the fact that they have a communique is a great achievement. And that, I think, even some of the side meetings that he met with the 3 Baltic leaders, I think that was important because he hears them. He hears what the Russia threat means to them. That will get him in the right frame of mind when he meets Putin here in Geneva later this week.
Ambassador McFaul, it was such a stunning, even for the ex-president, it was stunning when he refused to assert America's commitment to Article 5. I remember some of his traveling security folks calling to say, oh, we're going to do it at the next stop. We're going to do it at the next stop. I believe it eventually came out in the reporting from the trip that H.R. McMaster and Dina Powell and others had to force him to sort of begrudgingly make that commitment. Why was that so important from President Biden today?
Because it's the bedrock of the NATO alliance. Article 5 is everything. NATO is a defensive alliance, right? It's to prevent an attack on any of the countries in the NATO alliance. And Trump wouldn't say it, just like you said. And, you know, Nicole, I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. I think we forgot how crazy things got under President Trump. And as we now seen what is normal, and as you just said, maybe even boring, the contrast is really striking, but it's very important because without that kind of continuity and credible commitment to the NATO alliance, the alliance means nothing.
You know, I want to ask you one more thing, Ambassador McFaul, about what we just heard. Ann Gearan sort of using her question there to address something that I've asked you about this and other national security folks about the anxiety among our allies that the disgraced ex-president could return to power, or someone who sees the world and our allies the way he did. He gave a pretty honest and sober response. I imagine that is the same honest and sober response he's giving in private to our allies. But what do you hear about these concerns that America could just be in sort of an intermission from the crazy?
Well, it could be. We don't know, and I don't pretend that I know the future. But it equally could be true that that was the aberration, that those 4 years of the Trump era was something different, even for the Republican Party. I don't need to remind you. And I think there's a careful balance there. I think the president wants to say we don't know what the long-term trajectory is, but he also needs to speak with confidence that the United States is back, as he did today, and that in the long term, we've had these other bits and times where people were uncertain about us. Think about the late 1960s, early 70s, where there was doubt about America's leadership. I think the president needs to demonstrate strength and speak with conviction, and he did that today. I thought it was a very good press conference.